106.7 KROQ is KROQ. This is the Kevin and Bean Show. It is 7:40, and we welcome to the studio Talinda Bennington.
Hi, how are you guys?
We are good. How are you today?
I am okay. I'm okay.
Today, how many times do you get asked that?
A lot. A lot. But I look at it because I'm loved, so it's good.
That makes you feel good because people are asking about it, at least?
Yes. Yeah. And I've learned to decipher a little better if people are really asking if I'm okay or if they kind of just don't really care and they're just trying to be polite. So
a lot of people say, "Are you okay?" just to be polite, and then you just have to go, "Yeah, I'm fine."
Yeah, right. So it's an acquired skill.
But in your case, most of our audience knew and knows and love your husband, and today is his birthday.
It is.
Tell us what you're doing on his birthday.
It is. So today, I am asking everybody out there to be part of the change. Be part of the change for mental health. I founded an organization, 320 on behalf of Chester's birthday, partnered up with an existing nonprofit, Change Direction. We became 320 Changes Direction, and it's the mission is to change the culture of mental health, and that's many things. But it first starts with our attitudes, and it first starts with our awareness. And so today I'm asking that you take a selfie, hold up your hand with showing five fingers, and that is saying that you know the 5 signs. And you can go to 320 Changes Direction or changedirection.org, and you'll see there the 5 signs. You can go to my Twitter account at Talinda B. You'll find them there. Very simple. They're the 5 signs of emotional wellness and emotional stress too.
And those are personality change, agitation, withdrawal, and decline in personal care and hopelessness. So someone can be exhibiting one or all of those signs. So it's just knowing what to look for, right?
Yes, it's knowing what to look for, and then it's also 5 things that you can do to take care of yourself. Mm-hmm. One thing I've learned, really learned. Since my husband has passed, is that there is a big difference between mental health and mental illness.
Yeah.
We all have mental health, everybody. We all have physical health. We all have mental health. However, we don't all have mental illness, just as we all don't have a physical illness. And I believe if we can get one person to understand that because they're having a bad day, or they may feel in the dumps, it's not shameful. It doesn't mean you're crazy. It doesn't mean anything. You could be having a bad day, and that's it, because you have mental health. We all wake up sometimes and don't kind of feel good, or, but the decline of mental health can lead to mental illness, and mental illness, is from genetics, environmental, so many things. I'm not a doctor. I don't pretend to be. I just know what I've learned. And I just wanted to just spread that awareness.
I feel like a lot of times those signs of mental health or somebody's having problems, they're withdrawn, they seem to be having a bad time, they're losing hope. I sort of feel like the natural reaction is sort of to stay away.
Right.
And that's probably the opposite of what it should be.
Exactly. And that's why I fell in love with changedirection.org. Because their whole idea is that we need to turn towards each other. We literally need to change direction of how we turn to each other rather than away. Because you're right.
It's uncomfortable. You don't know what to say. You don't know what to feel. They're having a hard time. So you just do the safest thing for you, and that's stay out of it. And that's probably not the best thing for them.
Right. Or, on the flip side, you could be having a bad day and just want people to leave you alone, mm-hmm. right? But if you can identify you're having a bad day and know that it's that will help you to handle that, to cope with that, to not feel like a jerk because you're having a bad day.
Yeah.
So I think that's important.
What's it been like for you to sort of become a spokesperson for a movement? I'm sure that was never the plan.
No.
No,
what they say, God's idea of a joke is man's plan. So, no, it wasn't my plan. And, I thought I was done. I thought that was it. I was married. I had my family, and I was just living life. I was just...
You knew your future.
Yeah, I was perfectly content.
Yeah.
And then when my husband passed, I felt this enormous responsibility to make his death mean something. He can't just be another rock star gone wrong, another rock star tragedy. And for my kids, especially when they look back, and when they tell their children about their about their dad, his life will speak for itself. I mean, his life will carry on. What his music, his philanthropy, his kids, because he has like 1 million of them. But I want them to as a mom, I want them to look back and know, my dad's death meant something too, and it changed something for the better. And I believe that Chester was a victim of his time, with where we're at with mental health. Mm-hmm. And I think as many people are. And so if I can be a small part of that catalyst of change, I'm going to do it. And he left me with a huge platform. His fans are so amazing. So amazing. And
talk about them for a minute, because it does seem like we have somebody on hold that's the ambassador in Romania because they can't hear exactly, so they wanted to hear on the phone, so we put them on hold. So tell me about the support that you get and the response that you get from those fans.
It's indescribable. It really is. After Chester died, I couldn't sleep, and so I'd be on Twitter, and I started connecting with people. I also started realizing, wow, a lot of people are really sad. They're affected. They're starting to self-harm, but I knew I couldn't do anything to help them. I was emotionally incapable myself. But I did know that that I could just retweet what somebody in need and ask others to help. And that became a thing. That became people helping people, paying it forward. And now there's this huge Twitter community that helps. And there are stories. I mean, I could tell you for days stories of people that were hurting and that have turned around and changed to where they're happier, living a happier life. They've sought help. They've told their mom they were suicidal. One girl I believe she was in Iran. I was boarding a flight coming back from Hong Kong, and I saw her tweet, and she said she couldn't do it. She took the pills, and I saw she was a verified account, and so I went to her account really quick, and I saw she's a fashion blogger, and she has a lot of followers. The only thing I could do was retweet. I just had, to the family, please help. And by the time I landed in California, they had found her.
Wow.
There's a whole line of tweets of how they did, but they found her site. They found they found her mom, who was a nurse, and then her mom went to the house and got her, and she's okay, and she's in recovery, and she's actively tweeting and part of the hashtag 320. And
that's a beautiful thing, because Twitter so often is just people piling on and being super negative, and it's a really negative place for a lot of people, and you're actually making it a positive place and using that kind of voice and fans that maybe you can't help that person, but fans can help that person.
Right.
Turning it into that kind of thing.
Yeah. And, I love blocking's great. Mm-hmm. Because, there definitely are some negative commenters, but that's on them. Mm-hmm. And so, it doesn't really get to me too much, because I focus on what I'm doing and the mission, and Yeah, it's people are ready. People are ready for the change.
I think what you said earlier is so important, that Chester was a victim of his time, because even when we were kids, people didn't talk about depression. They held everything in. And now I'm seeing more and more people that are like, you know what, something's off, something's wrong. Parents are now recognizing signs of their kids, when before it would just be like, oh, man up, buck up, you're fine, get out there.
Right.
And this conversation has opened. And it's a heartening thing to know that the next generations will be able to feel comfortable saying, you know what, I'm not well, I'm not happy, let me figure this out.
Right.
And it's so important.
Right. Like, no shame. My son Tyler had asked me one night about 320 and, Mom, how'd you start it? And how, and the analogy that I came up with him, and I said, son, cars didn't always have seatbelts. It wasn't until 1968 that the federal law stated that we have to have seatbelts in cars. And I said, why do you think the car makers put seatbelts in the cars? And he said, because, they were told to. Well, right. Well, who fought for that? And he thought about it, and he said, well, there's the people that died. And I said, well, the people that died didn't fight for that because they're dead. Who do you think fought for that? And he looked at me and he got it. And he said, their families. I said, right. And I said, right now, our bodies are just like cars, and our minds, our mental health, are the passengers riding in those cars without seatbelts. So it's time that we put our seatbelts on, and actually buckling them up is taking action, is doing something. And the call to action today that I'm asking is to learn the 5 signs of emotional health and well-being.
And then Thursday, you're going to be doing a 320 Change Twitter chat,
yes,
right? At 11 a.m. You're going to be doing that for how long? For an hour?
I think so, yeah.
Okay.
Yes, I just kind of do what they tell me.
But if you'd like more information, you can go to changedirection.org. The hashtags to use are 320 Changes Direction, hashtag I am the change, and hashtag make Chester proud. Talinda, we're always excited to see you, always to
Thank you.
Happy to support your cause, because it's all of our causes as well.
Thank you. Thank you for your continued love and support. You guys are awesome. Chester loved all of you guys. He loved coming down here and doing anything with you guys. So thank you.